Hello everyone, welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky. Feel free to hit that subscribe button and subscribe below. In the description there will be a link to the recipe. Also feel free to head on over to Facebook and join Living Low Carb with Becky. With that said, we are making chili. Oh, chili is just wonderful for this time of the year. It's really great any time of the year. Let's get going with the Instant Pot. In the Instant Pot, I have it on saute. And I am currently browning, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I am browning 2 pounds of 80/20 ground beef, a half of a green pepper diced, a half of a small onion diced, and 4 cloves of garlic. When this is done, I will deglaze. First I will drain any and all the fat. By the way, that is optional on the draining of the fat. If you are more keto, you might want to keep some of the fat in the pan. If you're more low carb like me, you're gonna want to drain the fat. Regardless, wherever you're at, when you are done, you want to deglaze because there will be bits and pieces down at the bottom of the pan that have gotten a little bit stuck on during this process. So you'll add 1/4 of a cup of bone broth to this, of beef broth to this, sorry. And you'll deglaze and you'll get the little bits and pieces. And then once you get the little bits and pieces out, we'll be ready for our next step. All right, as you can probably see, we are going strong here. At this time, the meat has been thoroughly browned and we have gone ahead and deglazed with some of the bone broth. And I went ahead and took out as much of the grease as I could. So now, I am literally just gonna give it one last stir of the meat because we're not gonna stir it after this. So let me take out my wooden spatula that I have here. All right, and this is, I'm gonna do it kind of as the recipe says. So we are going to add the rest of the beef broth. So 2 1/4 cups of beef broth. We are just gonna simply pour that right on in. The saute, by the way, right now is still on. That kind of brought some of that noise down. That's awesome. Spices. What we are going to do on spices, 1 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. 1 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. I'm gonna add that in. Use it this way, I think. I can't get a good lid on it. Okay. Love cumin, but I cannot get it to come out of my jar for some silly reason. It's like stuck. My measuring spoon doesn't want to go in there. I'm gonna use a different measuring spoon. Sorry about that. Adapt on the fly, right? So what did I say? 1 1/4, tablespoons of cumin. Okay, I got that. 1 1/4 tablespoons. Interesting. All right, that's the cumin. Then 2 1/2 tablespoons of chili powder. 2 1/2 tablespoons of chili powder. One, 2 1/2, okay. 1 tablespoon of curry powder. Supposedly, this is a secret that makes it so good. Let me just double check that amount again. 1 tablespoon. Okay. Just gonna dip my spoon in there to get that off. So we have that, 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. Always remember pink Himalayan for your electrolytes. That one you just can't, for me, I just eyeball in. 2 teaspoons of pepper. Oh, my husband will love this. Then, this is where we get to have some fun. I debated doing this. At this time, we are going to add the rest of the spices. There's a couple optional. One is a tablespoon of hot sauce. So I'm not gonna put in a full tablespoon, but I am gonna add a little bit because I do have a family that likes some heat. So a tablespoon of hot sauce and a tablespoon of red pepper flakes. Once again, I'm not gonna go that full amount, but I will definitely, because I've gotta eat it too. But I will definitely add enough to make my family happy. Then, for the healthy fats, 3 tablespoons of butter, just plopped on top. Just gonna put in there. And then last but not least, that part I'm gonna stir up just a little bit with my spoon, but not very much. Okay, this is where it gets very particular. So I'm just using my spice spoon to stir, and I still have it on that saute mode. Now I'm going to add the tomatoes. We do not want to stir when we get here. So we have all of the ingredients in, which I'll go over with you in a minute. We're gonna add the tomatoes. One is a, what size is this? 10-ounce can, and it's the diced tomatoes and green chili. Just gonna pour it on top. Okay, and then the other is a 28-ounce can, making sure I've got the 28, just a 28-ounce can, it doesn't matter the brand. Tomatoes will have a natural carbohydrate count because they do have their own natural sugar. You just want to make sure on the label that there's no sugar added. So I'm going to pour that entire 28 ounces in. All right. Lots of, I will tell you, this smells absolutely amazing. And there's something about that curry I'm like really looking forward to. All right, it says do not stir, and then with the Instant Pot still in saute mode, bring the mixture to a boil. So I'm just watching it right now just to see a boil come up, but at this point there is no more stirring as soon as you go to those tomatoes. So while I'm watching it come to a boil, currently what is in the pot, I took 2 pounds of ground beef, 4 cloves of garlic, a half a small onion diced, and a half a small green pepper diced. I did all of that, and I am so sorry about my dog. So I did all of that, and then I degreased. I added a 1/4 cup of the beef broth, and then when that was done, I went ahead and added the rest of the beef broth, which is another 2 1/4 cups. All of the rest of the spices, which is 2 1/2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 1/4 tablespoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of curry powder, 1 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper, 1 tablespoon of red pepper flakes optional, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce optional, and 3 tablespoons of butter optional. I added everything, but I just lowered the amounts on the pepper flakes and the hot sauce. Then give that a quick stir. Once you're done with that, put in a 10-ounce can of Rotel with the green chilies added, tomatoes, and a 20-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and bring it to a boil, which is where it is at. At this point, it says to turn it off, completely off. Should show you what it looks like in there. So we've got a boil, and you can see the tomato is just kind of sitting on the top. And it says to secure the lid, make sure your vent is on, and then it says to press the soup button and bring the minus button to reduce the time down to 12 minutes. Okay. Once the soup cycle is done, So I just set it for 12 minutes and I have it secured. Once the soup cycle is done, okay, so it's on now. All right, so once that's done, allow the Instant Pot to do a 10-minute natural pressure release. That means you just let it sit for 10 minutes. You don't do anything to the sealing valve. And then after that, do a quick release, but they say to cover it with a towel. And I was using a towel the entire time on the spices, so it's already got some stains on it. So I'm just gonna use that same towel there. Put that over it so that when it spews, if any of the red that is in the chili is in there, that it will not come out. Then remove the lid and serve. It says that an idea of topping, which is what we're gonna do, is top it with cheese and sour cream, jalapenos if desired, but we're doing cheese and sour cream. All right, I'm gonna be back to show you the finished soup. I do wanna tell you really quick that it is 295 calories for a bowl, and it should make 8 bowls worth. So you wanna kind of divide it by 8. So 295 calories. Now, 10 grams of total carbs, but then I look at the fiber and I see that there are 3 grams of fiber. So that makes it 7 net carbs because there's no sugar, alcohols in here. 26 grams of protein, guys. That is this is a high protein meal. So it'll keep you full all evening, and 16 grams of fat, saturated fat, only 7. So overall good. It's even got some iron and some good old potassium in it. So pretty healthy meal for under 300 calories in a bowl and only 7 net carbs. So I will be back after it cooks, and then I will do the natural release, and I'll show you what it looks like as a finished product. Oh, hi, and I am done with keto chili, and I just wanted to show you. My daughter's helping me record. Thank you very much. So I want to show you what it looks like. Can you show into the Instant Pot? There we go. So this is what the chili looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some in the bowl. And I hope you can see just how wonderfully delicious this looks. And at this time, what I'm going to do is just sprinkle on some cheese, make it extra delish, and give it a little dollop of sour cream. And there you have your keto chili.